I don't know about you, but I'm bored out of my goddamn mind, Lawrence.
Well, bored is one thing I never am, but it's slow.
I mean, this is very interesting because, I mean, we've been slow before, for sure. This time somehow feels a little bit different to me. There's many factors going on right now, but just wanted to, say that I think we're all kind of feeling this right now.
We all are feeling it. I know a lot of people out there, a lot of listeners out there are feeling it. And so we wanted to do a little special episode to talk about it. And we also want to hear from everybody. So by the time this episode drops, we're going to put out an industry questionnaire. We'll link to it on all of our socials and everything. We are going to put together an industry questionnaire to see what's going on with everybody, who's working, who's not, what's slow, what's not, and what people are doing to kind of get through this little blip in the radar, like kind of reminiscent of 2008, right?
It is. And I keep saying that because, I mean, the only time I can remember that it was, slowing down pretty quickly was, 2008.
It is. So look for the industry questionnaire. It'll be on all of our links. We're going to take everybody who contributes to this questionnaire, put their little name in a hat. I don't know if we have to actually do it with a hat, but we're going to have a raffle.
I have a fishbowl. We're going to do it, guys.
Oh, great. Let's do it. We'll do it live. We're going to give away a $50 Amazon gift card to whoever we draw out of all the people that submit to the industry questionnaire. Because the more data we have, the more we can all see what is happening in the industry. So on this episode, we're going to dive into it, right? We're going to talk about what to do when times are slow.
What we do, our suggestions, but mainly just talking about ourselves, because I think that it's important to hear from industry professionals what everyone's going through right now and how you cope with it.
Exactly. We're also going to talk about how to deal with mental health during this slow time.
Don't get me started.
How to reach out for work during this weird time when nobody's working, and ways to kind of look out for each other. I didn't even make a cocktail, but I got a glass of wine. So grab a drink and stick around for this episode. Welcome to the Producers Happy Hour with your hosts, Sister Christian and Lawrence Lewis.
We're two producers with over 20 years of experience each, chatting over drinks about what it means
and what it takes to be a good producer.
Join us for insightful interviews and informative show topics that will help you get through your toughest jobs,
biggest production challenges,
and most difficult clients. So grab a drink.
You're going to need it.
And let's get to it.
Because making shit
is hard.
Whew. Okay, so making shit is hard, and actually sitting around waiting to make shit is hard too.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've been busy with all kinds of personal admin, going to the doctors, I'm going to go to the dentist, I'm going to get my eyes checked. And I kind of fell away from all that stuff during the pandemic.
So you're going to produce yourself?
I mean, somebody needs to.
You're producing yourself, which I love. I, on the other hand, am spiraling into a state of like, oh my God, I haven't worked in a few weeks. Am I ever going to work again? And I think that like what you've described and what I described are absolutely relatable to people. Just know that neither one of them are right or wrong. We're all going to deal with this the way that we deal with it, right? And I'm freaking out.
Exactly. And a few weeks of no work may not sound like a lot. I'm sure there's people out there that are going through a lot longer span of time. But also we're looking, normally we've got holds, we've got
inquiries
in the future to look for inquiries. So when it's times like this, the phone's not ringing, it gets a little nerve-wracking. But first of all, most importantly, it is happy hour.
Yes.
So what are you drinking?
Well, for this special episode, I have a special drink from Wonder. It is a cannabis-based drink because I'm off alcohol for a little bit. But it's called Godspeak because it's extra strong. And hopefully later I'll be speaking to God.
God. Yeah. or she'll be speaking to you.
Exactly. Some God somewhere is going to speak up. Here we go. I
myself am enjoying a lovely glass of chilled red wine by Vineyard called Septima, or a wine producer called Septima. It's a Malbec, Argentinian Malbec.
Delicious.
I chilled it a little, not with an ice cube.
which would be okay if that was what you wanted to do. No judgment.
It would be okay. And since we're talking about emotions, I thought red wine was the way to go rather than a fancy cocktail. Plus, I didn't have time.
We cover a lot of topics on these episodes, and there's not enough time to dive in deep as we would like. So that's why we've created our episode guide.
Yeah, our episode guide contains all the links that we mention in each episode and dives deeper into the show topic, as well as important industry news, which we all need to stay on top of, especially now. We need to know what's going on.
Yeah. If you're loving the show and everything we chat about, then head over to producershappyhour.com or click the link in our show notes to sign up for the listeners' newsletter.
Right. And do us a favor. After you get that first newsletter, write us back. Just write back to that email address because we want to know what you think. We love to hear your feedback. We want to send out stuff that is helpful and valuable to you, not just junk up your inbox, because that's dumb. All right, let's get into it. So, like I said, look for the industry questionnaire. We're going to put it out there. We want to collect as much data as possible. And anybody who enters will be put in the drawing for a $50 Amazon gift card. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. And
wait, where are my applause? $50 Amazon gift card.
Yes. But there's something about knowing that you're not alone and going through it. I know that we used to say that a lot during the beginning of COVID, we're not alone, but it's true. It's true. It's part of the community. We have one, you know what I mean? So it's there's definitely some comfort in knowing you're not going through it by yourself, or others are feeling the same way you are, not in a negative way, just in a comforting way.
Exactly. And the more we know about what's happening, the less mysterious it all seems and less scary it all seems. Couple of housekeeping things that I want to clear up. This was an unplanned episode.
100%.
We're popping in here because
Bonus.
we know what's happening. I mean, we planned the episode. We just didn't plan for this episode to happen. Well, and whenever the next one comes out, in 2 weeks from the day this one comes out, we're planning on having our podcast with Tony Franklin, a freelance film director, and we had this amazing conversation about networking. And so that will tie right in because we're going to talk a little bit about, asking people for jobs. So make sure you check out that one as well. So we bumped that one so we could have this conversation. And then secondly, Sister Christian, you had a little technical difficulty with your microphone.
I did. We all know I live in LA now, and it's been raining so much, and I just have to say, I'm thinking it's that, but I don't know. So I'm on my AirPods. I apologize about the quality, but, same Sister Christian, just shitty sound.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. So let's dive in. Christian, what do you do when it's slow?
Well, there are all the things that you mentioned, like catching up. I have a gazillion projects here that I could pick up or put down at any given point. And that, after 20 years plus doing freelance work, I should have a plan for when these times happen. However, I don't. And so I have, I've done the normal things like, catch up on a show and hang out and do a small project. But in the end, I've not been doing the things that we talk about doing. So I would love to hear more about what you do so that I can really beat myself up for not doing it.
Okay. So what I try to do and what I do are two different things. Sometimes I just enjoy resting.
Yes,
right?
Of course.
And I know it sounds lazy, blah, 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 but no, rest is an activity, rest is protest, all those things. I rest, and I take great pride in being able to do that.
Okay.
And I know it's a privilege to be able to do that. Also, what I do, though, is I call personal admin. I'm terrible at like getting through my mail, my physical snail mail. So I work on personal admin. I catch up on emails. Tell me about it. I'm late on my taxes, so I'm going to
Oh, my God. Why did you say the T word?
Sorry. Hey, this is a soft nest.
My anxiety level's now at 9. Keep going.
I've got like 3 other businesses that I run, so I pay attention to those. And I dive into this podcast and really kind of, I update our website. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we've been doing a lot of TikTok videos. I work on the videos and
those have been fun.
work on, right. And kind of doing that social media stuff and passion projects. I start looking at those kind of things that I have to put on the back burner when the jobs come up.
Right. So like it's producing yourself, turning that amazing
exactly
skill that we all have and why we're in this industry, right? Of being able to take somebody else's budget and in managing it, doing everything we need to do for it. I find that the one thing that I hear from a lot of people and a lot of friends is it's hard to turn that on yourself.
It is. And I don't want to sound like I'm amazing and doing all this stuff. No, because I struggle with it too. Because I think another thing that our amazing brains need is deadlines, urgency.
Oh, I need a deadline or I won't do it.
It's so easy to put stuff
Except
off.
for taxes.
So
like I know what the deadline is for taxes and I fucking won't do them still.
Yeah, I'll skip it every time. So I just try and do as much as I can in a day. It's like, okay, maybe today's the day I'm going to update my website because who updates their website with the work that they've done? But this is the time to do it, and I'll
That's a good tip.
Try and accomplish.
Like going in your resume or your
task.
website and just, exactly. And setting aside 2 hours a day to dedicate towards this sounds like a fantastic plan. Well, but also too, and when I'm in the thick of a job, right? And I don't know who else out here can relate to this, but when I'm in the thick of a job and I need to do all the things that you just said, then I just bang it out because I thrive on high energy and like pressure. And, like the more I have to do, the more that gets done. When I only have 10% or like say a project is 90% done, it's like there's no motivation for me to finish.
I think everyone listening can relate to that. Yeah. That's really relatable. I think that because that is for me as well. If I don't have that pressure on me, oh man, I can back burner things like an expert. All right. There's something else that we should address too during a time like this, and that's mental health.
1,000%. Because
our value, the way we value ourselves is so tied to work and getting that call and being wanted for a job that I know it can definitely really affect people when those calls kind of stop coming.
And you begin to have feelings of self-doubt, worthlessness. Did my last job go okay? Like, am I too young? Am I getting too old? Am I too experienced? Am I not experienced enough? I know how good I am at my job. When I'm not getting calls for work, I feel like the self-doubt starts rushing in and it's really hard to deal with. So like then you don't want to do nothing at all. Like marketing myself. I'm like, I don't want to spend any more time with myself. I already, it's a tough one. And I have to say that I would encourage people that if you are feeling overwhelmed or you have some anxiety or you are having, even feelings of doubt, I would say this is the time to connect with people who build you up.
Yes.
Whether that be your family, whether it's your partners, whether it's your friends, or that one person that you met on a job that time who you just, giggled with all day long. That helps my mental health a lot.
Exactly. Same for me. We are in this very privileged, unique position to be able to go see a movie on a Tuesday at 3:00 if we're not working, right? And to if you're fortunate enough to have a friend that you can connect with, whether or not they can go to a movie, whether or not they can be available in the afternoon, but like connecting with people that mean a lot to you is really, really helpful. And people that support you and boost you up. That's something that we can be doing right now.
What popped into my head when you were talking about like go to a park or a hike, and I was thinking, that's such an LA thing to do. Yeah. Like in New York, we would just gone day drinking.
Right, yeah.
I know. So I'm like, dang, I got to do something healthy, don't I? But it's true.
So I definitely try to go for a walk. I try and definitely go for a walk every day. And I'm in Los Feliz. I just walk around the neighborhood.
No, it's a great walking neighborhood for sure.
It's like, it's like a little 20-minute walk. It's lovely. And if I really want to do it, I go up into Griffith Park, walk around, and I read some, I don't know if it was a scientific article. I read some research report that just walking helps. It's not only great for your body, it's great for your mental health as well.
Well, I did that.
Friends.
Yeah, I did that thing that we were talking about that you alluded to earlier. Like I finally got in for so I will make this admission right now. I have not had a physical since before COVID. Okay. So I went in for,
me too.
I know. I would love to get a polling on how many people out there are also that. So I finally went on Tuesday for it, and she's like, your body just wants to move 30 to 60 minutes a day. And I was like, yep, I got it. Yeah. And it's true. Like even just walking, like you should not be like laying on my couch and rewatching Sopranos. Probably like get up and do something in between the episodes.
All right. Let's talk about money. Right? Times like these, I know, it's hard, but
exactly.
It's times like these when, we did this during the pandemic. We talked about this during the pandemic. It was our subscription challenge. And that is to really pull out your credit card statement. This new modern life we live, we're subscriptioned to, to the end of the world. Go through it. And there's some apps that do this as well. I'm not here to promote those, but go through your bill, look at all the subscriptions that you are committed to, and start canceling stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you don't need it.
I mean, I realized a few months ago that my partner and I were both paying for Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why, when, how, where, whatever it happened.
Exactly.
It just fucking happened, and we were both doing it. So there was a couple of them like that. So we went through and we consolidated everything because we just didn't know. The one thing we haven't consolidated, though, I will admit, is Amazon Prime. It's really hard to give up. It's really hard to give up like your separate Amazon account, especially when I use mine for work all the time. But whatever. Yeah. So subscriptions is a big one.
I'm thinking about just canceling it because Amazon,
I know. Well, so here's a few tips for you guys out there. If you're paying for Dropbox, if you're paying for Box.com, right? Because some companies make you sign up for that. If you're paying for Zoom, if you're paying for Slack or LinkedIn Premium. There's a few things out there that sometimes I've signed up for in the middle of a job, Skype Business.
Oh, and forget.
Yeah, and you just forget. And then you're like, what is this Box.com? Oh, shit, I've been paying for it for 2 years at $15 a month. It's insane. Mm-hmm. So
Gmail or Google, Drive, iCloud.
How many different clouds do we have now? But it's true. Like, so all of that adds up to a couple of $100 a month that you can consolidate.
Right. And if you're hurting for the bills, that's something you can do to kind of ease the pain until we get back to whatever is considered normal. And goodness knows when that's going to happen.
Right.
I mean,
and normal is such a trigger word too. It's like
with all these, I know.
No.
But with all this
normal subjective is what I mean. Yeah.
Yes. All this banking issues that we're having, and then all these pending conflicts. I know I told you this before, but I do voiceover work also, and the auditions that are coming in, a lot of financial commercials, and all of them have literally it open with in these difficult times, in these uncertain times, just like during COVID, just like during 2008. There's definitely something that's being anticipated from obviously, and I think even just today when we're recording this, who just laid off a bunch of people? You told me this
yesterday. Indeed.com, the job website, they just laid off 2,000 people, 15% of their workforce. Yeah, which in turn means that they don't anticipate having that many job postings. But it's in direct response to like Meta and Amazon laying off people too. Yeah, which is interesting to see how the job market has increased exponentially in the last year or two. And then I don't know. It just feels like everything is a mixed signal and everything is getting highlighted. Anything negative is getting highlighted right now.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, going back to mental health, like you just gotta concentrate on your own self and your own personal space, because
sometimes you gotta turn off the news because it profits off of negativity.
100%.
I hear you're gardener now.
Perfect.
Yeah. At least he's got a job.
I mean,
does he need an assistant?
I mean, fuck. If I could, I would.
Christian, why are locations always such a hassle in our jobs?
I know. And I get all kinds of jobs. Like, here's one for you. Celebrity interview. Celebrity lives somewhere like Memphis, Tennessee or Minneapolis. So I have to find a location near their house that is for a simple interview, but it still needs to be like a loft type setting. And it needs to be on the first floor versus like on the third floor walk up.
Right.
And the surprise, the budget does not have a proper location scout in the budget.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, I've used marketplace stuff. I've certainly used Airbnb for this, but that can be a time suck, and dealing directly with homeowners is like, no thanks.
It's a nightmare. And like you said, sometimes I get on a job so early, I've got to do some pre-research before I can bring a scout on, or there aren't enough scouting days in the budget.
Guess what? That's your job.
Yeah, exactly. And I've used those marketplaces too, but there's like a million steps between us seeing a listing that we think could work, the director loving it, but us actually seeing it in person and booking it and securing it and doing all that. It can just be a nightmare.
Well, drumroll, please.
Yes.
That is where our friends at Ave come in.
Yes. Ave are the first nationwide location scouting company. Ave has a huge private network, and you can save a ton of time and money getting you the perfect location wherever you need it.
Simply fill out a quick form. You'll be paired with an amazing location producer, and you'll receive a curated report with the best location options for your project. From there, they'll handle everything from walkthroughs to negotiating your location agreements and even permitting if needed.
And they'll work seamlessly with you, your location manager, or your production team, whatever you need. There are no upfront costs, and they only get paid if you book the location you need, which is magical.
Amazing. I cannot believe that part. So please save time, money, and your sanity by adding Ave to your producer toolbox. Visit Ave at avvay.com. You're not going to regret it, I promise.
And tell them we sent you. All right, so let's talk about networking, because now, I hate the word networking. It feels so formal, but getting yourself in front of people to make sure people know you're available for work. I know for a portion of us, you don't have to do that. Like you're established enough, right, that you just get the jobs. However, there are people that are used to doing it and do it all the time and make that just part of their daily lives. Like our interview on the next episode, Tony Franklin, just makes it a part of his daily life. It can be scary at the end of the day is what I'm saying for some people.
When you say, yes, it can absolutely be scary. And this is why. You don't know how your message will be received. So I think the message around, the reach out should be open to understanding that that person that you're reaching out to may be in the same boat that you are.
Exactly. Yeah. Reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I'm looking for work, please, blah, blah, blah. They might be in the same boat you are. They might not be. We're mostly freelance. So
yeah. And I've certainly reached out to production companies and received something back like, no, we just lost 3 jobs. So, and you're like, okay, sorry that I triggered you. And I think so. And there's a few things, if I could be yet again as candid and brutally honest as I'm known to be, there's a few things that go through my mind when I receive one of those reach out emails. The first is like, oh my God, I wish I could hire the world right now.
Yeah,
shit, somebody needs help and I wish I could help them. So who is working so that I can pass their name along? And it's also like, oh God, me too. I feel that too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, join the boat. But my response is I try to take that into consideration because it goes 2 ways. You don't know the place the person is in who's reaching out to you, and they don't know the place that you're in. So I think kindness is the way to go in this situation.
Kindness is the way to go for sure. And the way you kind of craft your message to people is really important, especially right now. And I always look at it as, genuine concern and care, and just, that's why I don't like the word networking or marketing, just communicating and picking up a friendship or at least a collaborative relationship with somebody. It's like, hey, crazy how slow it is. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you working? Are you busy? Hoping you're doing well.
That's the simplest way.
That's all you need to say. And if it's somebody that you would go out to a drink with, then invite them out to a drink. Are you not working? Let me buy you a drink,
Or do you want to meet to see John Wick 4 tomorrow at 11 a.m.? Anyone? Let me know.
Exactly. At the matinee.
Exactly.
Or the what is it? Discount Tuesdays at AMC.
Exactly.
Right?
And, I think that is a fantastic approach. And it's definitely like not centering everything on yourself, even though you're the one who's feeling poorly.
Yeah.
Like if you can open up enough to be aware that the person that you're reaching out to may be in the same or worse position that you are. That's how I would approach it anyway.
Right. Reaching out and connecting in a genuine way without a motive behind it is the way to go.
Yeah. Say I was reaching out to Lawrence, I would be like, holy fucking shit, Lawrence, I need
Right.
I need a job. Now, I certainly wouldn't do that to somebody that I don't know as well. So I think there's degrees of varying.
Good. Take your relationship into context.
Exactly.
And that also kind of goes on to our next point, which is about taking care of each other, right? And being considerate and knowing that you may not know where someone else is
exactly, and
mentally, emotionally, or financially.
And I think that the relationship that we have in this industry with each other freelance people, right? We get work from each other. So supporting each other is the language that I would suggest using in this situation. Just like we just said before, like the support is so genuine. This is a relationship that you're going to have your whole career with this person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And building that relationship from a genuine place and respectful, honest, and caring, it will only get you so much more in the end.
And don't just look upwards from yourself.
No.
Look behind you. Don't mean to put people in a hierarchy, but people tend to look towards people who can hire them. People they've worked with, companies, EP, whatever. Reach out to your PAs, right? One day those PAs could own a company and could hire you. I promise you it's happened.
Yes, because I know that my name has been given as a producer by production managers, by DPs, by agency producers. Yep. If I've connected with somebody, they're going to go, oh, I know a producer if you're looking for somebody. And that's it. But the source is just a trusted source. Whatever their job title is doesn't matter to the person that they're telling the information to. Or that person wouldn't have asked. Yes, I do think that you should look at all avenues during these times.
Absolutely. Hang in there, everybody.
Okay.
I think it is going to...
Thanks, Lawrence, I will.
So easy to say, so hard to do. I do think it's going to turn around soon. Can't say how soon.
Yeah.
It will.
It will, because you know what? Summer's coming. We're just now, what is it, the second or third day of spring? I mean, we're coming off of winter. Yeah. It's, there's so many factors going on right now. Union negotiations that recently just happened. Yeah. There's the Writers Guild. There's the banking industry, everything. All of that is contributing right now. So, but just know that it's not you, it's them.
Yeah.
It's all the reasons that I just said right now.
It is.
And that to be cliche as fuck, like we're all in it together. So you're not alone out there. Yeah. I mean, even seasoned professionals who are really good at their jobs aren't working right now. So just take that to heart.
Yeah, a lot of production companies don't have jobs right now. Big production companies don't have jobs right now.
It's insane.
Yeah. A lot of projects that were to be awarded this week are being pushed.
On hold, yeah.
And some streaming companies are holding their slate because of the writer's strike. Yeah. And then there's also the DGA is going to renegotiate. So there's a lot going on right now.
There's a lot going on that's slowing us down, and and then factors that are this is all beyond our control. So all we can do is deal with how it's handling us individually. And hopefully this episode has helped you to, or sparked some new ways that you can, get yourself through these times.
Ooh, Tony Franklin in the next episode talks about an email list and having a newsletter. Maybe that's something, a project for somebody out there that wants to
100%. Yeah.
Start your newsletter. Do it now while you're not working. And don't forget about the industry questionnaire that we're going to put out when this episode comes out. Fill it out. You'll be entered into a raffle to win a $50 Amazon gift card because we just want to get as much data as we can. And then what we'll do is we'll have another episode where we talk about the results. We're not going to name any names. It'll all be private, anonymous, but we'll talk about what we've learned from that. And then we'll announce the winner. So that's the one name that we'll say is whoever the winner is.
Yes. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
But it's also, we really do genuinely care.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to hear from you.
Absolutely. All right, sister, how do people get a hold of you?
Sister Christian produces sometimes.com.
Have you updated this website?
Not since 2017, so I know I need to get on it.
Get on it.
And Lawrence, if they want you, how do they get you?
LawrenceTLewis.com. It's that easy.
It's that easy.
Or voiceoflawrence.com for my voiceover work, which has been featured in our TikTok videos.
I love doing those. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
Yeah, hang in there.
Producers Happy Hour is brought to you with the help of the handsome Christopher Daniels,
who is a design and branding specialist,
and Brendan Russell at podlad.com, who is our fabulous editor.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to dive deeper, subscribe to our listeners' newsletter. Simply go to producershappyhour.com to sign up.
Thanks for listening, and remember,
enjoy happy hour while you can.
Because making shit is hard.